So, Vera again, and this will be a pretty quick video. And the last time I did tutorials for Hibari and Hibari Kyouya Tonfas, as well as Belkafor's crown. This will be just a very brief video on the Tonfas, which I have now finished, actually. They're done. They've been sanded down. They're painted. And I did a bit of cleanup on them too. So they're actually ready to go. If you watched the video before this, I made some particular points. And I told you could follow them whether or not you wanted to. But if you did follow them and you did paint them the way I did, which was basically aerosols, this is the result you get. So the silver was pretty straightforward. The only thing you should be aware of for the silver aerosols is that if you're going for cheap paints, if you touch it, the glittery silver metallic parts will actually rub off. This one, it doesn't. And that's why it's probably more expensive than the cheap stuff, because I found a bottle, I found a can that was like $4. This was like 6 something, 7, 8 something, I think. So now I realize that there's a reason why one type is more expensive than the other, and it's because one of them keeps its brilliance, which is basically the shine, way better than the other one. This one, the can says it dries in 15 minutes or less. I found it safer to let it dry for a full hour, because when you leave it on for an hour, you could actually touch it afterwards, kind of just grind your hand against the handle or whatever, and you don't end up with gold dust or silver dust on you. And this covers pretty well. I did one sweep across and I got the whole thing. Covers pretty good. So the silver paint I had no troubles with, actually. And the brand is Krylon. The next paint that I used for the black, if you started off with a black T-pipe, you don't have to, then it's one less thing for you to do. But if you had a white T-pipe like I did, and you had to paint it, I got the H2O latex one, mainly because I wanted shine on it. The store ran out of the usual stuff, so I had to get this instead. It had matte, but I didn't really want matte to go with it. I wanted a bit of shine. So I used the latex. The latex was on sale. It was cheaper. The only pet peeve I really have about the latex one is that it says it dries fast, but it takes a long time. Like, you actually have to let the latex set first. And even when you let the latex set, it's still very tacky. This has been dry for a couple of days now. It's still really tacky. And the phone just rang. Yeah, sorry about that. It was a call from school about pack meeting, which my family never attends. Where was I? Right, the paint. The latex, it's really, really tacky. Really hard to use. I don't recommend getting the latex. I got the latex because I'm on a budget. I'm low on money, that's why. But if you have a bit of cash to spend an extra couple bucks. Get the usual paint. Don't get the latex. Latex, especially, it takes a while to dry. And the problem is that while it's drying, if any dust or somebody touches it, you get the fingerprint permanently dried on. It's just really nasty. That's it for that. That was pretty straightforward. How I painted the black. The first thing the painting process I did was I hit the Tonfas with the silver first. I covered the entire thing with an even coat. And when I let this, after the silver's dried, I rolled up paper and I rolled it around the tonfas handle and everything, and I taped it down, and then I painted this part with the block. You find that like I said, the latex stuff is really tacky. And because that stuff is thicker, it's way thicker than the usual stuff. Like, this is pretty thin. Like, it's like water. If you spray it out, it drips. This kind of oozes more than it drips. So I had trouble actually getting around the edges here. But that's what these are for. I'm not kidding. The black is a bit off. This has a bit of a more red, purple, violetish tinge to it, whereas this is more pure black. But I doubt the lighting can get it in photos. This, and I basically went around the edges. That's all I have to really say for the tonfas. If you recall, I remember in my other tutorials I said that you just take glue and you pump it in. Pump in the cracks in between. This is for the painting purposes. This is what I was talking about. If you paint the metal first with the silver, you will probably end up with the silver inside. And although that would be okay, if you're doing a photo shoot where you're like this, it's a bit of a nuisance because you can kind of see in it. That's what I did. Was I took another one of these, cut the tip, drained the ink, and let it just carefully just painted it on the inside so it's black. That's it. For final details, if you want to, I'm not doing it because I really liked how it turned out right now. You could actually take the tonfas and you can do the lines across. If my references and my memory is correct, Hibari's tonfas are the main part, the blade, I guess you can call it, is sectioned into 3 equal parts. This was about 30 cm, I think, or so, 35 or something, 45 cm, sorry, 45 cm. So if I wanted to do the lines, I would take a ruler, measure out up to 15, mark it off, and measure another 15, mark it off. Basically, you want to measure the blade and then divide it by 3. So, yeah, so the tonfas, you measure out the top to the bottom, divide by 3, and you can use whatever you want, unless it stays on and goes over the silver to draw in the lines. The thinner the line, the better it's going to look. If you screw up, just paint over it again. That's it for the Hibari Kyouya Tonfa tutorial. Nothing special, nothing big. At the last point, if you find the glue doesn't stick really well to the tonfa, like the handle to this, you can use a nail as a reinforcement. Just go and find a really long nail, like maybe a couple inches long, 2-3 inches long, and simply nail it from in the middle right through into the handle. You can do that for extra reinforcement. You just have to hammer it really well so it doesn't stick out from the plastic later on. And make sure you have a nail that's short enough so it actually stays in the handle and doesn't peek out the other end. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, you glue it really well the first time. You don't need to put metal in it. That's it for Hibari Kyouya Tonfas. Hopefully my wig comes down soon and I get some photos done. Bye!